Tonight we'll be doing a bike check on my 2010 Specialised Hardrock called Sven. Everyone should have a bike like Sven. Now Sven deserves a bit of a backstory. He's my gateway bike. He was my way back into the sport and back into cycling. I, like a lot of kids, especially growing up in the country, rode bikes, rode mountain bikes, dicks around in the woods. It wasn't really seen as a proper sport. It was just messing about on bikes. And then go to college, go to university, get distracted by beer and trying to chase girls and failing miserably at both. And then a good number of years later, after I'd seen sense, my at that point fiance was like, let's get some bikes, we can go ride together. I was like, that seems kind of okay, I'll go with this. It's all on you. It's ultimately your responsibility, so sorry, not sorry. We got matching Specialised. She went for the Mica, I got the Hardrock. He was both the gateway and taught me everything about cycling that I know, essentially. It's that bike that you've put in more miles, had more moments, dug deeper, had your darkest moments in riding and your absolute highest moments in riding have been with that frame. All my bikes have got names, but Sven is more than just a name. He's a member of the family. He's just always going to be there, regardless what other bikes come and go in the quiver. He is the lifer, the life bike. And to celebrate that, let's talk about the frame first. Ostensibly, he is a cross-country bike with trail tendencies, more at the trail end of that kind of narrow cross-country specialism, being aluminium and 26. Quick release at the back. We've paired him with a 100mm fork, but 80 to 100mm is where he kind of sits happy. But why take 80 when you can take 100? 80's for hybrids and city bikes. Straight 1 1/8 steerer with external headset cups, threaded 68mm bottom bracket. He was originally black and white, but to kind of celebrate the bromance, again, my wife indulging me, as she does, paid for him to get resprayed. So the frame is a custom paint job by Ali McLean at Fat Creations, probably better known for Steve Pete's retirable bikes amongst many, many others. He's done everything from Troy Brosnan and Aaron Gwynn's handlebars, Danny Hart's helmets, and many other countless bikes in between. But obviously he's just a custom paint specialist. Anyone can contact him. I got in touch with him. We've talked about a few ideas. We're looking for something simple and classic, something minimal that I could live with for the rest of my life and the rest of his life. And we went for this two-tone blue job. The paint is incredible. It's immaculate. It's got so much lacquer on it. It's had so many rock things on that down tube, and there is, I think, maybe one tiny little chip, but it's just held up beautifully. All the graphics are solid paint. You can see the layers of paint. There's a pearlescent, and then there's a gloss, and then there's the lacquer, and when the light hits it, you can see the separation of those layers, and it's just something to behold. Pictures and video just won't do it justice. If you ever get a chance to see his work in person, either in one of Steve's bikes or just another customer walk in like myself, then take the time to properly pore over it, because that man's work is immense. That's the frame. Let's talk about the components. Let's start with the drivetrain. He's been 3x8, 2x8, 1x8, 1x9, 2x9, single speed. Currently he's 1x9. I've got a kind of a XT hodgepodge going on here. So crankset is XT with a 32 tooth narrow wide Superstar chainring. Superstar chainrings, machined in the UK, anodized in the UK. They're cheap, they're cheerful. You can pick one up for 15 quid. I've had no problems with them whatsoever, and I've had loads of them. I've only recently moved on to Absolute Black on the Enduro bike to get the good clocking with the oval. But if I'm going for a round chainring, I just can't argue with the price point, to be honest. Sure, if you wear one out in 1,000 kilometers, you can't really argue for 15 quid. That's powering the 9-speed cassette at the back, 11 to 34, XT again, save a little bit of weight there. Shifting duties is handled by a Saint shifter. and a XT derailleur. Now, something I'm not ashamed to say is that a lot of my bikes hang a lot of second-hand components. A lot of mountain bike components don't have a very hard life. A lot of riders, they get nice kit because they like nice things. They don't necessarily ride it hard, they don't necessarily break it, and you can pick up those bargains second-hand and build something strong and robust from them. So that shifter and that real derailleur are second-hand. Places not to go second-hand are cassettes, chain rings. Crankset also, new old stock. So what's it rolling on? Got a stroop waffle tonight. We're rolling on Shimano MT55 wheel set, straight pull spokes, 19mm internal width rims in white, because, you know, pimp. Center lock ring rotors, 160 front and back, because it doesn't really need much more. I could sometimes do more why I put it into situation wise, but the 60mm, it does its job, and it keeps the weight down when it doesn't need to be more. They are ghetto tubeless setup with some Schwalbe knobby neck up front, and have we got the rocket rod on back? I've run the knobby neck up front and the rod in the back for nigh on 3 years now. I get on really well with them on this bike. Try similar combos on other bikes and knobby neck's a dick. But on this particular bike, in this particular kind of cross-country, mile-munching, trail kind of setup, works really well. And with the tubeless, I've had no issues. Although, saying that before, I had not a single puncture with those tyres. Moving on up, the cockpit. We've got a core stem, 70mm. I could put something a bit blingier on it, I could put something that colour matches, but it was in the bits box. I had a 50mm stem in it before, but it was too short. I made the whole bike too short for its intended purpose, and it was just a bit cramped. And I ran with it for far too long. I just ended up hanging the weight further over the back than I needed. With the 70mm, the front doesn't wander while it's climbing. I can move my weight a bit more because of that envelope of movement is that bit bigger. 20mm bigger, but it makes a difference. That is clamping a set of Easton Haven carbon bars. Yeah, they're Haven, so they're a bit more heavy duty, but they're carbon and they are 740 weight, so the weight's a non-issue, and I have that vibration dampening going on. ESI foam grips, again helping with that vibration dampening because it's a hardtail and that's an issue to think about when you're putting in those long miles. Again, going for my minimal cockpits because I just can't help myself. So the only clamps on there are the brake clamps, and they are Avid Elixir R's. I think I have the only set of Elixir R's that ever actually fully worked. I do like the Russian roulette of will they work today, but plus, oh, that's devastating news. Oh man, I got some bit more tea. Still, got my street waffle. Plus there's that feeling of when you successfully bleed a set of Avids and they work, you just feel like... Taking it down, headset, again, superstar. Can't argue the quality, can't argue the price point. I think I paid less than 20 quid for that thing, and I haven't had to change the bearings. The sealing on it's great. There's not even surface corrosion on those bearings. I had them out 6 months ago, and it's only been in drive ever since then. RockShox Sid Team 2009, 100mm travel. It's got a compression lockout at the top with the black box motion controlled dampener. It's dual chamber, so we've got positive and negative air spring, so we can make that fork firm as, or we can make it really supple and plush. I generally have it somewhere in between. And on top of that, you've then got your standard rebound dampening as well. Sitting duties, again, as on my bikes, ubiquitous charged spoon saddle, lofted up top a Thompson seat post, because like Hendrix, you got to respect the classics. Generally have at least one bottle cage on this bike as well. Again, with my trying to go packless this year. The second bottle cage is coming great. I can stuff stuff in there. I can put a second bottle. Good times. Quite frequently tape stuff under the saddle on this bike or to the seat post because it's not a dropper. Don't have a QR, which always means I end up having to take an Allen key with me in my pocket, just waiting to spear a major artery in my leg. However, no holes there yet, and I'm not planning on doing a Cedric Grazia anytime soon. I've run this bike with clips, put flats on it briefly for a while in that period, but I always went back to clips. Run Shimano SPDs, and I generally go for the cheaper, weightier end of the spectrum because they're bomb-proof and they refuse to die. And currently, the most important thing about this setup is the bracket for the bike seat. As a member of the family, taught me to love riding again, and I'm hoping that we're going to share some new adventures with the wee man as he can come with us now. Sven's like that weird bicycle-shaped uncle. Not the weird uncle, but weird that he's shaped like a bicycle, and is in fact a bicycle. So, thank you, Sven. Thanks for the ride so far, and long may the bromance continue.